It's World Cup Wednesday, brought to you by Crypto Live Leak and Block Relations. It's your boy, Ben Twan. We're here to cover some of the latest breaking news from around the crypto space. Today, we're going to be getting into Dave Portnoy, Prez, getting into some crypto. This is going to be a little dandy here because we got a lot to unpack here. So first of all, for those you don't know who Prez is, he is the founder of Barstool Sports, great company. They're all over the sports game. He has been all about day trading during this whole pandemic since sports were no longer existent. So he has made a massive following for day trading in the stock market. Now he is dipping his toes into the crypto Bitcoin world, and we're going to unpackage some things. So this is really for those newbies out there who are just kind of riding the trends and finding the news, hearing the buzz, and getting involved. Happy to have you here. We're going to embrace you and welcome you into the crypto space with open arms. But first things first, you have to get educated. You have to learn about what is going on in this space first before you can just jump in and start trading. As I mentioned in previous videos, trading is a 300 level course here in the crypto sphere. That doesn't come until you learn the very basics of what Bitcoin is, what cryptocurrencies are doing, what the different projects are, how it all works. And then you can kind of start to understand, put the pieces of the puzzle together to understand trading. If you're new and you're getting involved with crypto, I do not recommend starting with trading. Start with watching videos, educating yourself, reading articles about what's going on in the space. Watch videos just like this so you can get caught up on what's happening and break down and get yourself educated. So let's get started. So this article was actually written by the Wolf of All Streets. Great follow on Twitter, a lot of insights. His name's Adam Tarlowski. Love him. He's always posting great stuff up. So he wrote a nice little blog today. Let's get started. Dave Portnoy, the brash founder of Barstool Sports, has officially entered the world of cryptocurrencies following a 10-minute video posted to social media in which he had the Winklevoss Twins explain Bitcoin to him. Portnoy proclaimed himself as officially in on Bitcoin and crypto, vowing to send the market to the moon. Good stuff. Okay. Following the meeting with the Winklevoss Twins, Portnoy says, "I still have no idea what Bitcoin is," while showing more interest in Davecoin he could pump. Exactly the antithesis of what is going on here. He still has no clue what he's doing yet. He invested $1 million into Bitcoin. Understand what you're doing first. That's all I care about is make sure you know what you're doing. Understand the risk involved with this. Okay, so let's go on. But can Dave Portnoy actually move the market? Many were quick to speculate when Portnoy entered the crypto arena that a single tweet or endorsement from him could influence prices. Bitcoin, to be clear, has been in an uptrend for the past 5 months and was in a clearly bullish long-term pattern without his endorsement. Today, August 17th, he tweeted about OXT, Orchid, calling it a shit coin with a pump included in the post. While Portnoy does not know is that when majors move, alts are likely to suffer. As many of you probably saw today, Bitcoin rose above 12K. What happened? We had a lot of alts drop. I know Algorand dropped, Chainlink dropped, and I'm going to give you a nice little newsletter tidbit at the end of this to walk you through some of these shit coins that are really scary, to be quite honest. So the only profitable traders on these calls were those that managed to purchase minutes after the tweet to catch the pump and then immediately proceed to sell. This was followed by hours of a continued downtrend. It appears likely that Portnoy is testing the waters to determine the scope of his influence in these less regulated, lower volume markets and assets. A further warning of where this could lead to was just seen today. As Portnoy claimed in a Twitter video that pump and dumps in crypto are encouraged. He went on to tell his audience that he won't reveal what he buys until he kryptonizes it. So I love that he's getting involved with this, but I think it may be for the wrong reasons. I love Prez, but you got to understand, dude, you got to stay in your lane, brother. There is tons of people in this field who would gladly sit down and educate you and teach you about it so that you understand it. But pumping and dumping is not part of the ethos of this community. That is not what this is about. Yes, people enjoy making money, But crypto is essentially like your own Shark Tank, where you are deciding, where do you want to place your investments? What companies do I want to invest in? What teams do I want to invest in? What communities do I want to invest in? It's not just about the dollar signs and pumping it all the way up. I think that is the wrong reason to get in this space. And you have to really question, why are you getting involved with crypto? Crypto is going to change the world. Blockchain is going to change the world as we know it. It is already happening. So understand what's happening in the world right now. And for someone to just get involved and start ripping out tweets saying pump and dump, I don't like it one bit. I don't like it one bit. In this article here, Link Marine, we're going to cover this one. Dave Portnoy, in crypto, you can pump and dump all day long. Not happening. I just, that's just the worst thing ever for crypto. I think it's just tarnishing our image. We've worked so hard from the Silk Road days, where Bitcoin was only associated with drug money. And that is the exact opposite. It's taking us 2 steps backwards if this is going to be the trend in which Dave Portnoy wants to continue. And I'm going to stand up and say this is not okay. So let's see. In brief, he says he's up 100,000 so far a week after buying at least $1 million in Bitcoin. Okay. So Barstool Sports president Dave Portnoy has clearly been bitten by the crypto bug, and after last week's collaboration with Gemini's Winklevoss Twins and claiming that he bought at least $1 million worth of Bitcoin, he's back at it again today. So El Presidente claimed that he was up more than 100,000 on his Bitcoin investment after a week. Portnoy, who was referring to himself as the king of Bitcoin, added, "At this rate, I'll make $1 million in a month." Crypto is not designed to jump in and make $1 million just like that. This is not a get rich quick scheme. Now, granted, traders that are excellent at doing this, who have tons of practice, yes, they make big bucks, but they're taking on so much risk. It isn't even funny sometimes. So understand, if you're new to this, don't go straight to the pros. You got to work your way up. You got to get educated. All right. Beyond frequent chatter about Bitcoin throughout the episode, he also turned his attention to a couple other coins, Chainlink and Orchid, which he repeatedly called Orchard. Confirming what appeared to be previous purchase of Chainlink's Link token last week, he labeled himself one of the infamous Link Marines and said that he's amassed a fair bit of it now. "I'm a Link Marine. I fucking love it," he said. "I'm a huge Link Marine. I think I'm 300,000 of one of these things just rips." I don't even know what to say. So this is funny because we're going to get into Link right now. So what we're going to do is we're going to get into this newsletter. This is a free newsletter, guys. And this comes straight from Crypto Whale. He has a huge following on Twitter, big influencer inside the crypto space. He is just there to spit facts, plain and simple. Crypto Whale does nothing but tell the truth. He's not biased. He's obviously has some sort of financial investing background, because his insights are absolutely awesome. I highly recommend you follow Crypto Whale, especially if you're new to this. He's going to put out stuff you don't understand. It's going to be over your head, but over time, you can start to put the pieces of the puzzle together. So this is, once again, free newsletter. You can subscribe to it. I think you can just go to his Twitter. It's like pinned to his profile. What he does is he talks about the bubble here. So many of the new altcoins using the same 2017 ICO bubble tactics to gain quick hype and then dump on investors. He's writing this article just so you can understand. So this right here, let's see, this right here, this image is pretty much going to show you the phases in which a giant pump happens. And what you can see is the psychology behind a pump. And if you can understand the psychology and the behaviors behind what's going on in the market, that will help you understand when to buy and when to sell. Because buying crypto, you do have to know when to hold them and you have to know when to fold them. Sometimes that's just the way it goes. So this chart right here does a great job of breaking it down. This is kind of the beginning phases here, where he talks about the stealth phase, then the awareness. It's starting to gain traction, publicity, and then his mania. And that's when it starts to go moon. That's really good if you got into one of those first 2 phases, but understand, if you are late, don't be afraid to not buy it. It's very simple. And then the blow off phase. This is where people start to sell off. Whales start to sell their shares. Very interesting little tidbit here is what he breaks down is that 70% of Chainlink is the supply of it is held by 9 whales. It could be founders. It could be like first investors into Chainlink. But he goes into, I believe I want to say it is whatever the blockchain is that Link is running on, and he sees all of these right here. All of those wallets own a large share of Chainlink, and you can see that blue indicator on the diagram shows you how much of it they actually own. So 70% of the coin supply is held by 9 whales. What does that tell you? Or only a little amount own this coin. So it's very easy that this pumped and then it dumped. So today, perfect example. It from 4.2 seconds, I think it dropped like 20%. So that could have been just one little trade that one of these whales made, just unloaded a couple 100,000 Chainlink, and boom, next thing you know, it drops the market. So this happens very easily. It can happen very easily. And we're going to highlight a couple other coins that Crypto Whale said be on the lookout for. So Band Protocol, 90% of the supply held by 5% of the whales. He goes through, you can see here, he shows the wallets. The wallets don't lie. This is why we have blockchain, is that you can see where the coins are going. And these coins are stored in these wallets here. Same thing, that blue on the diagram shows you how much of that coin is actually owned by who. And that's not good. If you have that much consolidation with one coin where a small percent of ownership has control over the coin, that means they can easily manipulate the market. Another one he mentioned is XDAI chain. 90% of supply held by 3 whales. Orchid chain, which is another coin that Dave Portnoy was shilling today. Understand, folks, just because Dave Portnoy says something, I love him. He's a great character. But when he's in that character mode, some of the stuff that comes out of his mouth is not always the best advice. So heed this warning and follow some of these experts in this field. If you really want to learn something, learn from them. Don't learn from Dave Portnoy. He obviously still does not know what Bitcoin is. I hope he does. I hope he comes around, and I hope he has the right intentions for getting into Bitcoin. I think he obviously wants to get rich, but at the end of the day, I would not be taking my financial advice from him. So Orchid, 60% of the supply held by 8 whales. Now this one's a little bit more diversified, okay, but the risk is still there. Yeah, I mean, you definitely don't want to see that. Laverge was another one, 81% of supply held by 8 whales. Aave, 71% of supply held by 8 whales. And I think that is in the DeFi space. So he goes on to discuss, why is this an issue? This is an issue for investors because the people at the top are in full control of price. When I present the Chainlink concentration on Twitter, it wasn't met with too much resistance from the Link community because they know it's true. If those whales ever decide to finally cash out, they can dump the coin to zero. Make sure you're investing into projects that don't have their coins total supply concentrated by a select few at the top. This is a terrible investment choice and a great way to lose money. That's it, folks. So this is World Cup Wednesday. We're bringing to you out on the pitch today, getting the footy, kicking it around, and we're kicking this around. We're kicking around Dave Portnoy, jumping into crypto. I think it's great that more people are getting involved, but I'm not for pump and dumps. I'm not for that. I'm for pumping for the right reasons. If the marketplace really, really believes in a project and think it's undervalued, I love that. I think that's great. Let's get those projects the money they need to be able to accomplish some of the goals that we want to. But just to do it, just to see the coin rise and then dump it, not cool. So educate yourself. That's my big tidbit for World Cup Wednesday. Thank you for joining us. Like, subscribe, smash the notification and like buttons. YouTube, Crypto Live Leak, your boy Ben Twan. Until next time, over and out. Deuces. Chicharito. Ahí la tiene Torrado. Torrado la juega.